What on earth is happening at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club? This season, we are currently sitting in 11th in the Premier League. We don't even make the graphic when they show it on television broadcasts. When they show the table, you have to scroll down. You don't see Tottenham. Our form in the league has been horrendous this year, and I think it's mostly due to tactics combined with the ownership issue. My washer is going on in the back if you hear that. That's what that is. But for me, if we're going to have a manager who likes to play tactics that are really on the front foot, inverted fullbacks, then we're going to need to have the players to fit that system. And they're not going to come at a cheap price. Unfortunately, every season it feels like since I've been following Spurs, there's some type of injury crisis for whatever reason. Right now, there is no fit center backs. Last year, we remember the Chelsea game and how we got decimated with injury that game. So the problem becomes we don't have the players to survive an injury crisis when we're playing with the tactics, the gung-ho type football that Ange wants to play, in my opinion. So there's two options. We either ride it out, hope that the young players that we've signed, Archie Gray, Lucas Bergvall, develop in the system and grow into future 70, 60 million pound players, whatever the case may be. Or we find a manager who is going to play a pragmatic style and it's going to be really boring to watch. And I don't want that personally. I think it's interesting to look at the manager win percentage here of our previous, leadership. Rip Ryan Mason, 33%. But you look at Ange's percentage this year, it's at 41%. And Conte was at 61%. This was obviously the season that we made top four, and we know how it didn't go as well the season after, but it was fun. We were winning more games, but the games weren't entertaining at the same time. So for me, I want to keep Ange in. Don't think anything changes if we switch around manager styles, unless they're going to have different tactics with playing a more defensive style. So Ange has played and signed a decent amount of players at this point, some better than others, obviously, but it is really frustrating because it feels at the end of every transfer window we're left short with not having the quality off the bench specifically to survive an injury crisis like we have seemingly clockwork every year. So Dragusin for me, I know some people in the fan base not huge fans of him specifically. I think he is obviously young, but at the same time, he is a center back made for a system in the middle of a back three, in my opinion. He doesn't really possess the ball playing ability necessary to consistently provide quality passes into the final third. And at the same time, the system is so hard on the center backs in that, we're very susceptible to a counterattack. So he's really having to, be pushed to his limits, in my opinion. I think Dragusin is a player who is a center back for a back three system, and that would be a better fit for him personally, but I don't know. I don't know where we go from here. Hopefully we can turn these results around, but I fear for Ange. I really do at this point. I mean, if we can't win a cup competition, like if we get knocked out by Liverpool next year, which is more likely than not, and our form doesn't pick up in the Premier League and we don't win the Europa League or don't make a really far run, I mean, I hope the leadership keeps him in the seat, and obviously these results are difficult to take, but I don't know if they will. I really don't think they will, truthfully. And so if that happens, I believe that it's on the fan base to go against the ownership, and I think that will happen in a lot of ways, but we just can't. I don't want Ange to be sacked, but if we bring in a new manager, we can't forget about what the actual issue is at this football club. I mean, it's very sad to say. We're scoring so many goals, which is kind of puzzling. The second most in the Premier League. But at the same time, we're losing to so many teams that we should not be losing to, truthfully. So, I mean, it's tough to watch. Madison has been the shining light for me this season, as well as Kulusevski. I think Solanke gets a little bit too much criticism personally. I think he's now really growing into himself as an established striker in the Premier League. So I like that signing, but I mean, Archie Gray is so young. If we're going to sign these types of players, then we need to also sign established Prem players, which the ownership just really has not done consistently since I've been following the club. So it's frustrating. It is frustrating to be a Tottenham fan more often than not. Fun times at Tottenham Hotspur Comedy Club. Let me know what you think the issues are going on of why Tottenham is sitting at 11th in the table, and what do you think would change these results around? Do you think we are going to win a cup or a trophy this year? That would be fantastic. Hopefully this video ages like milk and Ange turns it around very quickly. If you've made it this far in the video, I really appreciate it. It's been Tip Top Tottenham, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. See you in the next one.